Hey, how's it going? Uznixibaldi here in the M24 Chaffee. I got two games for you. The first one is Prokhorovka Encounter. This is a game that I recorded back in June of last year. It does have a fellow platooned artillery. A tier 3 Bison decides to platoon up and get into a tier 9 game. So we're going to see how this turns out. As a scout, I'm going to head over to the eastern flank overlooking the base. The team is going to be deploying out 7 and 7. 7 is going to go over towards the east, and 7 is going to go to the west. So we're going to get up on top of this hill and see what we can spot out. Now, one of the things to keep in mind with the Chaffee is it is a really good scout. Its main purpose is to get into a bush early in the game, get some really good spotting out, and basically wait for the team to move on forward so you can keep eyes on the enemy. It's not always smart to just sit out in the middle of the field in any kind of tank and just get shot up like crazy. That's why you need scouts to be able to get in a strategic spot and watch out for the whole team. If on this game, if one tank sees a tank, then everybody should see the tank unless they're outside of the radio range.
Enemy detected.
And as you see right now, I've already spotted out at least 4 tanks. I'm just sitting here in this bush waiting for the team to really just move forward and try to take over the base. I cannot really put in any kind of shots here because one, the Chaffee does not have really good penetration, and the risk versus reward really does not work out in this situation, because if I do shoot, then anybody down in the base will be able to see me unless I back away from this bush. But I don't like to back away from the bushes because it takes away my camouflage net, and the camouflage net is really important on this tank because if you have your camouflage crew up and a camouflage net out, then you're going to be able to sit in a bush not even 100 meters away from an enemy tank and not have any problems whatsoever. Now, as you see, they do have at least 4 tanks capping the base right now. Our team isn't really doing much to stop them. There is a few people putting in shots and resetting cap, but it's not really working out. I don't think anybody over in the west is actually able to put in any kind of damage whatsoever. And that is it. It is game over. I put out an affirmative because, hey, that was really good strategy. And this is the next game I have for you on Sacred Valley Standard Battle. It is a tier 10 game. The last game was pretty much a team failure because your role as a scout is to just spot out the enemy, give your team the proper intelligence to make the right choices during the battle. So I'm going to head on up to the hill right here in the southeastern side of the map and see what I can spot out. Now on this map, 2 places are really useful for scouts, and that is the northwestern hill and the southeastern hill. Now usually I like to get behind a bush because that really boosts my camouflage rating on this tank to make sure nobody can actually see me whatsoever. However, I just get into this little spot right here because it's fairly easy to get to, and you don't have to worry about knocking over any buildings to let them know where you're at. Now I do spot out 3 tanks. One is a Patton, which is actually being pretty aggressive in how he's approaching. I was actually afraid that he was going to be spotting me, and he actually does spot me there. I back on off, get some land between me and the other people, and as soon as I fall off radar, I get back into position to try to get some eyes on those people, because as soon as they fall off the map, nobody can do anything to actually put damage in. Artillery are able to see where their last known position is, or even tracer fire, but that's pretty unreliable. So I always have to make sure to get my binoculars up so I can spot these tanks out. And as you can see, these tanks are like halfway across the map and I'm still able to spot them out, which is a really good asset on a team. That's why the Chaffee is really well appreciated in any kind of battle. Now, with the Patent pushing forward like he is, it's a pretty bold move, especially when you are in low ground up against targets that's above you, because you don't always have line of sight on your targets. Now, he does actually get somebody killed. That was right up here behind me, but that's a really bold move to actually be doing. Now, I'm still scouting out on this hilltop. I put a shot in on the ISU-152 because at this distance nobody can really see me. We do have a tank moving down the southern road. He's getting in position behind the rocks. As you can see, we pretty much have complete control over the southeastern part of the map, so we're going to dominate this whole side. At this point of the game, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do, so I went ahead and cover the southern road, because that seems like the best strategy at this point of the game. All I have to do is just get into a position and just spot out. But I get a little greedy and pop off a shot that's going to get me spotted, and then I'll be trying to move around as best I can not to get shot at. I'm not quite sure exactly what I was thinking about this IS-3. I've put in 2 shots on them and they're never ever going to be penetrating, but if it did, it would be really amazing. I get spotted out by the T-62A over in G6. I'm moving around trying to put some cover between me and him. I head on down the hill trying to avoid fire best I can, and then I decide, you know, I'm just going to have to pull them back. I'm going to have to get up this hill as fast as possible. So I'm trying to get up the hill, run into some tanks on the way up the hill. It's pretty amusing. And as soon as I fall off radar, I'm going to head on back down that hill. Now, if you notice, the T-62A is going to continue to go in around that corner because he thinks I'm going up the eastern flank, and he thinks that I'm going to be an easy target for him. Because if we do come head to head, he's able to really kill me in just like maybe one shot. But I don't like to think about that. But anyways, my plan here is to go around everything and try to go up behind him and put some shots in on him. But I'm not really able to get up through here. I do get spotted out. I'm trying to put the building between me and the shooter, and soon after, right about here, the Waffentrager is going to go ahead and take the kill. He puts 1 shot, 2 shots, and he's dead. Now, that kill does cost the Waffentrager his life. I'm going to try to get into position to spot out that E-100 that spotted him and killed him. And let's see what I can find out here. I'm looking, binoculars popped, and I do see the target. I go ahead and lock on to try to get a nice easy hit, and I missed 2 shots, 3 shots. It's not that easy to hit a target at that distance. But anyways, I go ahead and move on down because there's no way that I'm going to be able to spot him out anymore. He's beyond my spotting range. Because there is a spotting limit of 445 meters on the game. Now, right here is a T-34. I do have a pretty surprise attack. I'm not really aiming straight for any kind of weak spots in particular, but every single shot that I put in on him is bouncing. I'm getting a little frustrated here. I'm trying to circle around him best as I can. I go ahead and track him, putting him right into place, and decide to go ahead and get on out of there, because if I'm not able to really just stop and take an aim on something, then I'm not going to risk my tank for that. I go around the low ground here, fall off radar, and a EU-50M is going to pop up here. I put a shot in on him. I circle around, trying to give the illusion that I'm going all the way around the entire map. Instead, I'm just turning around and going straight back to meet up with him. Now here's the T-34 once again. I am approaching through low ground, so he doesn't really have a shot in on me. Peek the top of the hill just a little bit and put a shot in. I kind of baits him out to shoot his shot before he's able to really hit me. I go straight for this M103, completely ignoring the E50M. Now the E50M here is going to give me a little trouble. I go around the rock here trying to put some hard cover between me and him. The E100 comes on down the hill. The E50M goes around the rock. I put the rock between him and me. Now right here is where it gets a little tricky. The E100 goes around the right side of the rock, whereas I go around the left side of the E50. The rock completely covers him from the E100. He turns the gun and knocks me completely out. I did have a pretty decent game. We do win this game by defeat, and wasn't too shabby.